Hi guys, I'm in a new setting. It's a temporary setting, so don't get too excited. And we are going to do favorite Halloween movies. This is my brother. He has a channel. Part 1 to this video is on his channel. Tell them what you do.
I will. Thank you so much, my sister Jill. I am Eric, as she just said, and I am on a channel called Pretty Much It. Like she said, you can click down in the info to go to check out part 1, and you'll see what we do if you click around, I guess. But basically what we do, as you may or may not know, I don't think you watch, right? You don't support me, right? Okay, good.
I haven't seen many.
Good.
I've heard of you.
What we do is movie reviews, video game reviews, comic reviews, music reviews, all different entertainment reviews. We also do a weekly show called Pretty Much It on Pretty Much It. It's a little confusing, but hopefully, you know, you're able to catch on quick.
My viewers can handle it.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And so we talk about the news and movie news, video game news from the week, whatever. And it's a lot of fun.
And
that's my story.
Sister.
We are indeed brother and sister.
We're not married. I'm not his mom.
No.
We're not dating. He's not my boyfriend.
Yeah, I think you've covered the bases there, yeah.
You'd be surprised. So like I said before, these are our favorite Halloween movies. They're not going to be the most acclaimed or, you know, critically the best movies.
In some cases, they're actually critically panned completely.
But those are the best ones.
Yes.
So those are going to be our favorites, probably your favorites, childhood favorites, stuff like that. Starting off with Tower of Terror. This is a huge movie for me and for him. I mean, like, it's just... Okay, wait. So what is this movie like to us? Okay. Tower of Terror.
You alright? Are you gonna be okay? She's having an episode, guys. She's having an emotional breakdown.
I've never been on the ride. He's been on the ride. It doesn't even matter.
I love the ride.
It doesn't matter. So the point
matters.
is that this movie, I used to watch this movie. I think I used to rent it from the library all the time when I was younger. And
back when it actually scared us.
Yeah.
When we were little.
But there is a part that still scares me. And when I watched it when I was younger, it like scared me so bad that I would be like petrified. And it still is scary. It's the part where, if you've seen this movie, you know.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
When she goes down into the basement or whatever and finds her doing the spell?
No!
Oh! Is it the part when the thing sits up?
No!
Oh! I'm 0 for 2! Which part is it?
It's the part where the old lady sneaks in, and this is where you find out the spoiler, which I don't want to say.
It doesn't really matter, though.
Okay, but like you find out the spoiler about the old lady, and you just see her in the background in the doorway, and she has like a black cloak on, and she walks past the doorway, and like she looks in at Kirsten Dunst, and it is so terrifying.
I kind of don't even remember that.
I just want to die.
That's how much of an impact it had on me.
It's so bad. Yeah, well, it's horrifying.
Now, can we just say, this movie, obviously, like we said, these are our favorites.
These are silly
obviously,
movies.
This is a silly movie.
Yeah.
And it's got Steve Guttenberg in it as Buzzy.
Yes.
And there's a lot of corny stuff with him and Kirsten Dunst.
It's like, it's so, oh man.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what we love about it. Like, we quote that
love.
stuff. It's
if
fantastic.
If it were better, it would be worse.
Yeah, like Great Grand Dude.
Great Grand Dude and the
that?
little bellhop guy.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that
God.
movie is a classic. And also just the whole part in the beginning, that whole beginning thing where they're actually going in the elevator and then they get sucked out is like such a good part. The next movie is Halloween Town.
This is an obvious classic.
You all love it. You all know it. It's on TV all the time.
Now, are we talking about just Halloween Town or
Yeah,
Halloween
the
Town
first
2?
time. No.
Calabar's Revenge?
No.
Halloween Town High? Halloween Town
And
whatever?
then the last one where they replaced the girl,
With like
no.
Sarah Paxton for
Yeah,
no reason.
oh my God.
Well, not for no reason. The one girl was like,
Yeah.
alright, enough is enough.
But it was just bad.
She grew up
Shouldn't
and has a
have been
life.
made. But the first one only. I'm not
Yeah.
saying, I don't really remember the second one too much, but I'm sure it's not bad. But the first
It's not that
one,
bad, no.
The first one is the best one.
And now, the first thing that comes to mind for me when I think of Halloween Town is the skeleton cab driver. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I think of.
Yeah. And also there's a part in Halloween Town that I remember when I watched it when I was younger. There's a part where the grandma, what's her name?
Grandma.
Yeah, she bumps into her friend, and the friend is like turned into like this gross monster, and like there's like just a shot where it's like she bumps into her and it's like, and it's just so scary.
It scares you?
It used to scare me. It probably still does.
Used
but
to.
It used to scare me.
You're thinking about it now and your hair is rising up on the back of your neck, isn't it?
The next one is Hocus Pocus, which, I mean, this is our second place runner-up
Sort of.
favorite, but we've been watching this movie longer than
Kind of tied for first place.
one. Yeah, so, you know, this is like a tie, but it's Hocus Pocus. You don't like Sarah Jessica Parker.
It's not that I don't like her. She just let me down. I bet money on her in a race one time and she didn't come in first, so. Jokes aside, she actually looks completely different in this movie than any other thing she's ever done, in my opinion. Like, almost unrecognizable to me.
You haven't seen Girls Just Want to Have Fun, or...
You're absolutely right, I haven't. Is that a Halloween movie?
No.
Then why are we talking about it?
Because it's amazing. The three of them in this movie are incredible. I didn't even, like, this is one of those movies where I didn't even know it was, like, Bette Midler or Sarah Jessica Parker.
Right, you didn't know they were anybody.
And then when I watched it, I guess more recently, a few years ago, I like
Being aware of the
didn't
world.
even understand like any of it. Like there's so many jokes in it that I didn't get.
Oh, you mean like you watch things and you get jokes
when
you
I
didn't
was younger,
get back
I was
then?
just like, yeah. And then I watched it like I guess a few years ago, and I was like, wait, what?
I just watched it this year recently, and I have to say the part that I never got, aside from the fact that I never realized that Satan, quote unquote, was played by Gary Marshall, and then Penny Marshall's in there too.
Yeah.
I never understood that part. When I was younger, I thought that actually was Satan, and there's this random portion of the movie where they suddenly go to hell.
No, yeah, I wasn't.
I never got that.
I wasn't that dumb.
Now, of course, I understand. It still is a little weird that he just like has them in the house, but whatever. It is what it is.
Whatever.
Once
Don't
again,
judge
these
it.
are all silly movies.
It's hilarious. That
but,
part is hilarious when she's like watching the TV.
It is great, and like the baby commercial
Yeah,
comes
what is
on.
with that? And then like the Penny Marshall comes in front of her and she's like, "Get out of my house!" And she's like,
Yeah.
"It's like hilarious."
And this has everything too. It's got the feeling of Halloween. It's got
Yeah.
trick or treating. It's got a Halloween party. It's got costumes.
okay,
It's got everything.
It is hilarious.
Oh, it's very,
This movie
very
is
funny.
hilarious.
And you know, this one really was critically panned, but it's actually really good. I really honestly think it's funny. It's interesting. It's unique. It's original.
I think that this movie is held as one of like the most beloved Halloween movies.
Definitely.
And there are like less than 1% of old dudes that, have a problem with it.
Of course.
But it doesn't need any help.
And can I just give a quick shout out to
Yes.
Doug Jones? Doug Jones, you're the man.
What does that even...
He's the zombie guy.
Oh! The last one is When Good Ghouls Go Bad. Now, you don't even understand. This
This is my favorite!
Okay, this movie is so incredible. If you haven't seen it, you haven't even lived yet. Like
You
that's
haven't
what that
lived.
quote is for When Good Ghouls Go Bad.
Yeah.
Like it is let's put some adjectives out there. Beautiful,
Amazing. Brilliant.
scary,
Well,
smart, clever.
it is
creepy,
actually pretty creepy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
creepy.
Every adjective you can think of that's
Oh,
positive.
it's so like Halloween.
It
like,
is so
themed.
Halloween. The music, Jillian. Think about the
Do,
music.
do. Yeah. Oh, and also Happy
Halloween! Yeah, that is an absolutely classic moment. But this movie is, not only is it it's like uplifting, it's got
uplifting,
scary
it's
stuff
sad.
to it. It's got a great, interesting story. It's R.L. Stein. Are you
So
kidding
R.L.
me?
Stein.
R.L. Stein.
We love you, R.L. Stein.
Yes.
We love you. What this movie has, especially for a kids' movie that most kids' movies don't have, is the fact that the main character kid has to deal with like the loss. Is it his grandpa?
It's the grandpa, but they call him Uncle Fred.
Okay, so Uncle Fred. He has
Yeah.
to like deal with the loss of him in the beginning of the movie, and then it's like this weird. It has like a lot to it.
It's got
It
a lot of
really does.
layers. You've also got the relationship of the dad with Christopher
Yeah,
Lloyd,
and also the other mom.
and then the dad and his son, and,
And then
his
the
own
and
dad,
son,
and the
and then
football
and then
player.
the kid and the girl.
There's
So-
a lot to it.
But the biggest thing I think, and any movie that has this I love, but like his Uncle Fred or whatever, he comes back to life, kind of, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like when that whole thing is really, really good. And then at the end, there's a scene that I love when all the ghosts start dancing.
Oh my
under,
God.
Like, the fireflies. It's
Are they
my
ghosts or
favorite.
zombies or what?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Who cares?
This is
They
an incredible
dance.
movie.
Oh, okay, wait. We forgot to talk about the bully kid, but not the main bully, the bully's friend.
Oh,
who's
the
like
dumb
an
one?
idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs into like doesn't he run into like the door?
He tries to get through the fence because the
Oh,
one kid is so
man.
skinny he just
Yeah.
glides
Doesn't
through
he have,
and then
like,
he's like,
one of those like squirrel hats on. Yeah,
I don't know, something like
Classic.
that. But he's
classic.
funny.
That's hilarious. He's probably the funniest part, and that like bully football kid. They're the funniest part.
How much would you pay to see the statue? Nothing. How much would you pay not to see the statue?
But one last thing I want to say about this movie is it's one of those movies where you can feel like when they're outside in the cemetery and stuff, you can feel how like crisp it is outside and like the air.
Feels
You
like
feel
you're there.
It feels like you're there. Like you know how cold. Like you know what the weather's like. You know like the crunchy leaves. Like it puts you there. So that's the best movie for Halloween.
Absolutely. This is my
Easily.
favorite. This is
Yeah.
easily our number one, I'd say. Like we
Yeah.
said, maybe we kind of touched.
That concludes our favorite Halloween movies. Like I said before, part 2 is on his channel.
Wrong.
Actually, part 1, I lied. Part 1 is on his
It
channel.
was a trick. It was a Halloween trick or treat.
It was a Halloween spook. And this is part 2, obviously. So check
If they've
his
made it this
out.
far, I think
Made
they
it
know
this
what's
far.
going on.
Yeah, so check that out, and thanks for watching. Subscribe and thumbs up, and comment on what your favorite Halloween movies are, and let us know. And share this with your friends who like these movies too, because we can all enjoy it together.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.